Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the voiceover interviews. Coming here today, we have Alister Cado. Would you like to say a few words, my friend?
Hey, what's up? I'm Alice. It's Cato,
Cado.
actually.
Yes, sorry.
It's no problem. Just like Play-Doh. No problem.
Yeah,
Hi, I'm Alister Cado. I'm a voice actor, and yeah, I'm here and we're doing it.
hell yeah. Speaking of doing it, just getting the typical question out of the way, what got you into voiceover, voice acting, and what was your journey?
Wow, okay, that's a big question. So, I've always been like into acting. I did a lot of stage acting in like high school and college. And after college, that's where I was doing a lot of tours around Long Island, where I'm from. And then the pandemic hit. And that's when I decided to give voice acting a shot because I've always loved anime and video games and stuff. And yeah, so I got myself a mic. I started doing classes, and yeah, like almost 2 years later, like yeah, we're here and we're still learning, still trying to figure things out. But it's been a really awesome journey so far. I think it's the most like fulfilling I've found in terms of my acting journey, just doing voiceover.
Oh yeah, and did you do acting like during your school time?
Oh yeah, I did a lot of plays and stuff, especially in high school. Less so in college, but
Yeah,
I tried to do it where I could. But then after I graduated and I was like kind of in the workforce, I was like, wow, I just kind of want to keep acting or like find
yeah,
some ways to do it. So in between work, I would try to find like stuff around me or try auditioning for stuff. And this theater troupe, Plaza Theatrical Productions, they do a lot of tours all over the Eastern United States, and they picked me up, and I did a lot of children's shows for them, and I was getting a lot of good work there. And then again, COVID hit, and then we're doing voice acting just right here in my home.
hell yeah. You mentioned doing plays in high school. What was your favorite play that you did in your high school time?
Oh, my favorite play. I wish I had the picture, but we did. What was it? It was a Shakespeare comedy. I think
Ooh,
I might be getting the title wrong. I think it was Twelfth Night.
12 Night.
And
Yes, 12 Night.
yes, I was Sir Andrew, if I'm getting that name correctly.
Yes, that's right.
And yes, okay. And my partner Toby, we had really good chemistry together. We were just like, throwing jokes. And I remember specifically I had this awesome like it's like a pimp coat. It was like purple and it had like all these like leaves and stars on it and everything. And it was the coolest thing. And yeah, I just really had fun wearing that coat and then just like doing like really fun Shakespeare like sword play. Like we had this whole sword scene where we're just like I'm fighting someone and we're not very good at it, so we're trying to pretend like we are, and we're just poking at each other with these swords. Was definitely my favorite
That's
in high
awesome,
school.
man. Oh, I just noticed now. Are you wearing nail polish? Because you got like two different colors. You got purple and
I
yellow.
I am.
That's awesome.
Yes. This is a completely separate thing. But yeah, I like getting my nails done every now and then. I've never done one color. I'm always had like decision anxiety when it comes to
Ah,
that
fair.
stuff. But yeah, this is specifically because I'm playing the Digimon card game a lot with my friends.
Oh
Digimon was one of
yeah.
my things growing up, and one of my favorite decks is a yellow and purple. So
Oh, lovely, dude.
yes,
I
yes,
gotta say,
Digimon was my
just gotta.
jam.
Hell yeah, I love Digimon. Just gotta say, they look absolutely amazing on you. Love the
Oh,
colors.
thank you, thank you.
Hell yeah, and yeah. Speaking like on the realm of like Digimon and stuff, were there like any like cartoons or anime or like TV shows or films that like kind of inspired you to take up voice acting?
I think yeah, there was a lot. One was Digimon for sure because I was watching that show like religiously every single week, and that's when I started learning about just like who voice actors are and like how this kind of industry goes in. And then I would like watch other cartoons, like oh my god, that's Tai and that's Kari, and it's like oh my god, why is Tai and Akira and it's and he's doing all these terrible things, ah, and but yeah, that was a huge influence for me, but it didn't like what really actually pushed me to finally just give voice acting a shot had to have been Jojo when it was finally coming out. And part 6 specifically because that was around when COVID hit and I saw so many people just like um Jolene's voice actress in Japan, Fire Rizai, and Kira
Yes.
Buckland too. They both that's their like their dream role, and they like kind of like they were able to get there and really just both sides are just amazing with their performances. And it was kind of I kind of felt like that's what I was missing in my own like vocal performances, like really being able to just like let out like some genuine acting as me. And I saw a lot of that come out in Jojo Part 6, and that's when like I got to do this. I got to do this now. I'm going to start looking up classes. Like I remember as soon as I found out who they were that night, that same night, I was like I'm going to start looking up classes, and then I started taking a bunch, and then here we go.
Hell yeah. I love like Ifuru's and Kira's like journeys to like getting to play their dream role. I also know for you know like the first OP of Stone Ocean called
Yes.
Stone Ocean, the first I forget what the band's name, but the singer was also a massive fan of Jojo, so it was like a really kind of
Oh,
fulfilling thing for everyone.
that's so cool. Yeah, just like, seeing people like watch these things and like be a part of them, like be a part of these worlds for so long, especially with like, with Digimon and all these different anime and then being a part of them and just even getting to like know these people because they're just like such like good people and being part of their acting classes and everything. I took a class a couple months ago with Joshua Seth, who played Tai
Yeah,
in Digimon, and he's just he's a great guy, and he just like genuinely wants to help people become better actors. And seeing
oh
that
yeah,
side of people, that's more than that outside of just the performances that we see, seeing them just like go out there and just be their genuine self and help other people do the same. That's awesome, I think.
For me personally, I think voice actors are like the best kind of famous because they don't have overflated egos. They're just like regular people, and they just like to just talk and hang with everyone. They don't feel there's not like this like just because they're at the status they talk low down or low to anyone. It just really
Hmm.
helps them. I just really enjoy
Yeah,
like, interacting with them.
yeah, exactly. It's like I don't know what it is. I think a lot of voice actors kind of have that kind of like introvertedness, a bit of like I know
Yeah,
I have like social anxiety just a little bit, and it's like just being able to just like vibe with something specific, like especially with like animation, like we all kind of like animation or video games in some capacity, and being able to just really not only geek out about them, but geek out about them in a way that maybe just other people, just like fans, aren't able to, like really understanding the voice acting side of it. It's a really good way to like get to know people and like
hell
really
yeah.
understand that kind of that side of that of things.
Hell yeah, I'm really glad you mentioned JoJo because I'm not sure people know this, but I'm a huge fan. It's not like I did like a whole
Really?
yearly challenge opposing every single
I
person.
saw that. That's what got me to follow you in the first place because like this guy's just like loves JoJo so much that I was like, I saw it like starting out, like it was like maybe like day 9 or 10 or something. And I
Oh,
was like, is he
nice.
really gonna do 365? I have to know. I have to see this guy. And yeah, you nailed it. You nailed it. Every time you like there was a missed day, you like made up for it with like 3 different poses. It's like you nailed that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I love how I'm just known as the pose guy and then voice actor second. I love that.
Good. Yes. That's a great way to get out there. Just like, especially JoJo poses specifically. Like when you see a JoJo pose like out in the wild, like you know.
Oh, dude, like some of the poses that I had to do, they were like really hard to pull off. So like getting in
Which
shape,
one was the hardest for you, do you
hardest
think?
pose. Oh, definitely like that one Polnareff pose where he's like kind of like it's like when he's like towards the ground but his body's like not up not near the ground is like he's pointing at the camera. Just
Right. I think he's like his legs are just like, is
yeah,
that the
like
one where he's like split out like
yes, that
all
one.
the way? Oh my god, I know the exact one.
Oh, that was so hard. It was so so many takes because the camera would just shake. So yeah, it took a while, but we got there.
Awesome. That was, I mean, it looked great.
Thank you so much, man. Yeah, and just speaking of JoJo, because I interviewed River Dude like last year, and I think by the time I'm recording this, his interview should be out. And pretty much
Awesome.
what I asked him about is yeah, just who's your favorite JoJo character and or JoJo stand?
Oh. Okay. Oh, hold on. Okay, my favorite JoJo. It's always so hard because every time I think of one, it's just like I want to. I like they're all my favorite. I want to be that guy, but if I had to choose one, it's it's still Jolene. Like
Oh
when
yeah,
read it back then, and when I seeing it now, I just think Jolene's awesome. Like
oh yeah,
she kind of had like the fate of JoJo just like thrust upon her without any. She just like literally got thrown
yeah,
into
straight
it.
up.
Like she was thrown into jail. She was just thrown into this world of magic stand powers and arrows and the moons and gravity's getting all screwed up and everything. And it's like she took it like a champ. Like she kind of buckled down and kind of came into like the hero role of what she had to do, and
Yeah,
that was really really awesome for me. um Not to mention I do like strong women in media. Like
yes.
I had a like my mom, bless her soul, she was a huge inspiration for me growing up as a person, and that's why I gravitate to these kinds of characters.
Hell yeah, as you should.
um hmm, my favorite stand, I like all the hero stands, but I remember reading it was I just like as a concept is probably that sticks out to me the most is Notorious B.I.G. Not
Yes.
because it's strong or because it's like it looks cool or it's like got a like a it's the ability's kind of broken, but I
Mm,
remember reading it and he comes out, he does nothing, gets shot, and then the stuff and then all the crazy crap happens, and it's like, wow, I would have never like thought of that in any kind of like shonen anime before, where the character just dies immediately, and it's gets worse from there, and it can't not get worse because Notorious B.I.G. just like doesn't die after
yeah,
that.
it always boggles my mind. How did like Carne, the stand user, get hired as like the like not even like in that shonen, but like the top, like the boss's elite guard? How did that work?
My headcanon for that is like, I don't know what my power is. All I know is that I have to die for it. So
Yeah,
it's like I'll let them kill me and we'll see what happens. But I promise it's gonna be good. Who's like was Diavola like, You know what? I trust this guy. Let's give him a shot.
yeah. How like Diablo just took a chance on him because you're like, bro, just believe me, bro. Trust me, it's an overpowered ability. I haven't experienced myself because I haven't died yet, but just trust me on this, bro.
It'll work. This will work. I also like Gold Experience Requiem
Yeah,
because the um just being I don't know if he still uses it or if he still could have,
yeah.
but I don't want to talk. I can go on for hours about what about crazy conspiracy part 9 theories, but gonna keep it there. Gold
Oh,
Experience is a
speaking of
really interesting ability.
part nine, have you read part nine so far?
I've been reading part 9. I've been reading part 9 and it messes me up so bad.
In a good
I don't
way or
want to. Yes, because
yes?
because just Rohan's there. Like, what is Rohan doing there? Is this a new
Yeah.
universe? Is it like I don't know what's going on anymore? And that's why I want to talk about Gold Experience Requiem because maybe Jorno's still around too. I don't know.
Whoa. But I was kind of thinking, like, what if, I was thinking, like, is Jodio is like the ultimate version of Giorno, like the opposite way, of course. Giorno's
Mm-hmm.
like drug bad, and the other guy's like drugs.
Drugs, just here.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's a drug dealer.
And there's also
He's
this humor as
15.
well. It's really mind-boggling to me that I'm older than Jodio, but like a couple years. It's so weird.
Yeah, because it takes place right now. It
Yeah,
takes place
2023.
like after COVID, and
Yeah, COVID references. He's gaming on his iPhone.
that's
Probably plays Race Shadow
that's
Legends or something. I don't know.
That's so weird. That must have been like would have been like for people reading part 8 at the time because
Yeah, that was
that's
like
when that came out.
2011.
I got in halfway through part 8,
Oh yeah,
and yeah, that's when that's and things have kind of happened since then, but this is the first time I'm jumping into like a new JoJo and like
yeah.
no idea what's going
Same,
on.
man.
I'm excited for it.
Hell yeah. I think by the time we're recording this, the third chapter should be out in like 6 days. So Yeah.
Okay.
So
I
chill.
thought it was banana rain. Like, I know what I'm doing after this.
It's usually like every 17th of every month, but that might change over time, of course. But yeah, just wanted to ask as well, because since we're just talking about JoJo and like all the music
It's a JoJo
references and stuff,
podcast now.
well, hell yeah, it's might as well. All the JoJo like references, all the music and stuff like that, and I was thinking we can try something interesting. So I
Okay.
love I love like listening to songs and albums and like making stands out of them. I've been doing that monthly, like if you haven't seen
Ooh.
them. For
Yes, yes, I've started seeing them. Yeah.
yeah, for January we did Fat Lip by Sum 41. February was Keeps Me Up, that's a Nickelback song. And
Ooh.
last month, March, was Black Parade, My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
It's so good to make. I can't reveal the fourth one yet, but it's coming out soon, as well as like the others. Just looking forward to that. But
I
yeah,
can't wait.
I was thinking, do you have like a favorite song or album? And from that, we can like create a stand and like get some abilities.
Oh, all right. Okay, so an album that I was listening to a lot when I was into JoJo, when I was like, just barreling through the story, was 24 Karat Magic, Bruno Mars.
Oh, I love that.
Um, oh man, I really want to think of it now.
I think 24 Karat Magic's a good. It's a good shout. Goddamn, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too. I even thought of the crunchy name, the crunchy name, like subversion of their what was it? What did I think of it?
Oh, the localization name.
Yes, yes. So
Oh,
playa.
what would it be? 24 Karat Magic localization name. Um,
Hmm.
24 Karat Dabra, like abracadabra.
24 Kadab. I like it. I like it.
I can't. Yeah, 24 Kadabra. I kind of like that. Um,
I dig it. I dig it.
all right, let's go with 24 Kadabra. So what happened? What happened just now? I pulled up the lyrics for 24 Karat Magic. On
Okay.
Yeah,
Let
we're
me do
gonna
that
base
then.
it off the one song just for now. But oh, it's actually really Bruno Mars, man. I feel like this is just my interpretation, of course. Of course, this is your favorite song and your favorite album, so feel free to have full reign on whatever you want.
All
But
right.
I think with 24 Karat Magic, I feel like the user or the stands or the stand itself is like a humanoid, and
Yeah.
so the stand user or the stand touches the target with their pinky finger, and of course and once we have like he's the in touch with the pinky, we'll we'll get them. I'm just basing off the lyrics. We'll get them to look up towards the moon or look up for, and then they'll be under control. So it's sort of like um. So pretty much we'll have them sort of like mind controlled for like a few hours. So it's kind of like a 24-hour zombie kind of deal. But of course,
Oh, I like that.
that's just right off the bat. So if you have anything to add or like a new concept, by all means.
Yeah, I think it actually works well like depending on how many people like I imagine like this like stand user being like very, you know, like like a famous person, like everyone's
Yeah,
looking at him. And so he gets a lot, like the more people he gets, the more he's able to hypnotize and the more he's able to get people to like do their bidding almost.
yeah.
And maybe it could be like, um, so the zombies that you get, they don't attack you. Like if you hit them, it's not the stand. One of them is the stand, but they can but the stand can like travel in between people to
Oh,
hide.
yes, I like that. It's
I
kind of
like
like
I'm
it's kind of like Diver Down with like phasing through like different people and objects.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what made me think of it.
I
Also, I
love.
wanted like he's got the hat.
Oh, it's oh. You have to get the hat, man. You have to do it.
Yeah. It
So
says
yeah,
something it said something else on it though, but
so
it
yeah,
definitely has that hat.
I fucking love that. So yeah, any JoJo stand artists out there, let's make Alistair 24 Karat Magic.
Please,
Hell yeah,
please.
hats
I
the
have
most.
no other ideas on the design, but he's got to have the hat and it's got to say like
Ooh, so play.
it's got to say something on it.
Like ooh, so play.
So playa. Yeah, she should say so playa. That's what it
I was thinking like if we're basing like the song and like the stand user, I was thinking like as you say like the stand user should be a famous person. But I was kind of
Yeah.
thinking, right, since the stand user probably has like multiple like control over people, it could be like, it might be really dumb, but like I'm thinking like those people who create like a pyramid scheme of like doors, like a hustlers university kind of thing, where it's like, you got it, bro,
Oh
like that kind
snap.
of thing, that kind of thing.
Wait, I love that. No, that's way oh, that's so on brand for like for JoJo, especially like the newer guys. You know how the like the newer villains, they're kind of like they're very creepy and they like have
Yeah,
these like weird monologues about weird things. That's so on brand. Just like they start talking to JoJo about like, hey, you want to get into this scheme? I'm selling stuff.
hell
And
yeah,
then and then JoJo's like, no, and it's like, too bad, I'm gonna attack you now.
hell yeah, hell yeah. Well, the idea is all yours, free reigns. I just
All
love
right.
creating abilities. But yeah, getting
Absolutely.
back to voice acting now. Uh, any
Yes.
just from like the topic of animation and cartoons. Do you have any favorite games that you played as a kid or now?
Devil May Cry. Devil
Yes.
May Cry, Kingdom Hearts. Those were my jams growing up. Especially Devil May Cry because I got really into it in high school, and I feel like I base a lot of my own vocal performances on the stuff that goes on in Devil May Cry, especially Nero, who's voiced
You're right.
by Johnny Young Bosch.
Yeah.
I was so big on Power Rangers. I'm still big on Power Rangers. What am I saying? And Johnny Young Bosch is also like the Black Ranger in like the second season of Mighty
Oh,
Morphin. And
I didn't know
I've
that.
been,
Oh my god, he
oh
was a Power Ranger?
yeah,
What?
oh yeah, look him up. Look him up. He was the second generation Black Ranger of the very first season. So he's like in the
I
suit and everything.
wow.
And he went on. He was doing it for like 3 years.
Oh
Like
my
he's like,
god. I did not know.
and then yeah, and then I didn't see him after that, after he stepped away from Power Rangers. And then it must have been Bleach. Or I haven't no, I actually haven't seen it was Bleach that I
Yeah.
saw heard him again. I was like, oh my god, that's Johnny, that's Adam, that's the Black Ranger right there.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen the original Trigun yet, and I still need to. Yeah, that's still on my list. But yeah, the first time I heard him again was Bleach, and then he was Nero in Devil May Cry
Yeah.
4, which is like one of my favorite video game characters of all time. I
Hell
cosplayed
yeah.
him, and I never stopped talking about Devil May Cry 5 like as soon as it came
Yeah.
out because he was the main character. He was like the main character, and he had all this cool stuff going on. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's like it's an
Devil
awesome
May
game.
Cry 5 is the experience. I love that game so much.
Oh, it's
I love hearing people's like experience with Power Rangers because in New Zealand it was banned for like a long time until like 2011, and
man,
since
didn't they do a
2000,
lot of filming there?
yeah, which is really weird because nowadays they film Power Rangers in New Zealand now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did I did an audition, a voice audition for Power Rangers that my agent sent me. I won't say who the character was, but pretty big deal in the Power Rangers series, and it was, oh god, I got a callback for it, and that was really cool. And it was like, oh
That's
god,
awesome.
you want me to do that? Like, oh my goodness gracious. So I got to meet the
Oh
Power
my
Ranger casting directors and stuff, which was really weird because I saw like a little bit of Power Rangers on like my granddad would like buy like cassette tapes and have them transported here, and I get to watch them on there, and it was just really wholesome. I
That's awesome. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. If you ever get another one, just tell me in the most NDA way possible and I'll help you out. I will hook you up. I will hook you up with those power. Oh my god, that's so cool.
Yeah, because Power Rangers is actually filmed in my hometown. Well, not my hometown, but my town I'm living in right now. And there's like lots and stuff where it's like, oh, there was
Oh my
actually Power
god,
Rangers in it.
wait.
It's crazy.
Oh, I know they just recently like there's a new season coming out and there's like a 30th anniversary special coming out in a couple days as of this recording anyway. But oh, wait. Oh, that means you might have seen some of the original Rangers because they got a lot of
Yeah,
people back for this special. Oh, that's so awesome. That's so
yeah.
cool.
I do know like a little bit of the OG guys. I know that the actor for Trini did pass away a while ago, so I
Yes,
wonder
quite
how
some
they.
time ago.
Yeah, so I don't know how if they just got someone in a suit or anything, but that's
The
also crazy.
story, yeah, the story for that special specifically is that her character is killed in battle. and her
Ah,
daughter is going to take up the title of the Yellow Ranger,
oh,
and
that's
kind
nice.
of it's kind of a revenge plot for her at least.
Yeah, and then last year, the person who played Tommy Oliver passed away too, and that was oh man,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
just that was a special kind of pain. That just hurt, man.
it did. Yeah, I got to meet him at once in
Oh
Comic Con,
yeah.
and he's just the genuine guy, you know. He just we just talked about Power Rangers, and I got back into Power Rangers in college because I was just it was like freshman. I was like a freshman. I was kind of just like figuring my stuff out, and someone got me back into Power Rangers and like the Japanese version, Super Sentai,
Yeah.
and it got me out of a big funk. And yeah, Tommy was a always a big part of that. So when it happened, it hit definitely hit hard.
Yeah. I remember like watching I think it was either an episode or a movie. It was probably an episode of like the White Ranger, and I
Hmm.
just really enjoyed that. From Tommy going from the Green Ranger and being controlled by Rita Repulsa to the White Ranger,
Yeah.
the new leader of the team. It was really cool.
Yeah, yeah. There was a great like growth moments for that character specifically. And he would go on to do like Reds. He was Red Ranger for a while,
Oh,
and then years later his character got a became like an archaeology professor, and then he was like the Black Ranger for a little bit. And that was like maybe 10 years out from the last time he did it, and he still rocked it back then too.
it kind of like surprises me like how big Power Rangers still is and still popular because I there was like a lot of fighting games with Power Rangers like Battle for the Grid. I haven't played it.
Yes. Oh, it's so good. I'm so bad at it. I'm so bad at fighting games, but I love them.
I saw they had Ryu and Chun Li as Power Rangers, and then I was like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. It's the coolest. It's such a weird like lore crossover, but I'm a big fan of that stuff. I also love Street Fighter. I'm also very bad at Street Fighter. I'm bad at all fighting games, but I love playing them.
Hell yeah, that I was definitely bad at fighting games for like the longest time, but it was still always fun. It's still always fun to like how to
Oh yeah.
randomly pull off something in the midst of
Yes.
fighting someone else. Yeah, but just having like Kyle Bear who voices Ryu just say it's morphin time. It was so interesting.
So cool. So cool. Especially, yeah, just like being part of that voice acting thing and hearing these voice actors that you know for so long do, especially Kyle Hebert saying it's morphin time. Like that was just like super wish fulfillment for me. Like, oh my God, Ryu's a Power Ranger. It's so cool.
I was actually thinking about this the other day. So in 2017, there actually was like a Power Rangers like film, like a movie,
Yes.
and I remember seeing it in theaters with my mom, and I thought it was pretty good, but I just want to know like what was your thoughts seeing it?
Liked it. I liked it. I know a lot of people have like their reservations about it, but I thought it was a really nice direction for, just the franchise, just like this new take on these like classic characters. And it was a lot more grounded in their performances because, it's the 90s, it's Saturday morning cartoons. They're always going to be like, yeah, let's do it, teamwork, which is fine. I'm not knocking that, but this one was like a more, you know, it was definitely more like grounded in some kind of realism. Like each of the characters had their own kind of thing going on
For sure.
and their own demons that they had to battle. And that's just as important as fighting monsters in real life. And I thought they nailed that really well. Not to mention when they played the theme song, like
Oh yeah.
all the kids and the grown-ups that were in the theater were just like popping off at that theme song.
Hell yeah.
Yes. And I was there for that.
I kind of miss I'm just used to Rita Repulsa being like screechy all the time. So not having her in there, when she's like screeching and some of her voice clips don't match the flow her mouth. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
It's just miss that.
it's a whole thing. It's a whole like dub. They brought a lot of footage from Japan here because it like cut down on costs.
Yeah,
And yeah, but you definitely saw a lot of just some people had mouth flaps that just weren't working. And yeah, it was just a way for them to save money, but it made like zillion dollars. So
yeah,
I don't
true.
think anyone was too worried about it.
I remember watching Power Rangers as a kid, and like I hated Rita's voice so much. I would turn after whenever she popped on the screen. My brother and I would just like turn the we'll do like a collective noise, like yeah, just turn the volume down a little bit. It's like
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It definitely was like that chalkboard scratching thing where it's like, oh, this is the
yeah,
evil character,
oh
and you're not
boy,
supposed to like them. And now, like as like kind of like getting into voice acting, I would listen back to that sometimes, like, how'd she do that?
Yeah,
Like, how'd she do that with like completely blowing out her voice? And I'm
yeah,
like,
same. And honestly, even for like Lord Zed, and just hearing him do his dudes, like Robert Axelrod did an amazing job. Good lord,
yeah,
I
yeah,
love Lord Zed so much. I like watching
yeah.
clips. Oh, he was amazing.
Oh yeah, he was so cool. And it like gives you a like learning a I think it's the same with like any industry, like learning about how this stuff is done, like how people get those crazy reader repulsive voices and like, maintain that and be able to just like make sure their throats aren't lacerated after the fact. It's
So,
like you get a new perspective on that and you get a really good respect for people in the industry that are like kind of doing that. Like all the Dragon Ball screaming, all the
yeah.
reader repulsive voices. It's not easy.
Oh
It's
yeah.
so hard. And like that's like the last thing you do. And you could be out for like a good like
Uh,
2 days if you're not
yeah.
careful.
Proper
And
rest is key.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's something I definitely learned starting out. I remember starting out, I wanted to do like 10 auditions a day. And then I was like,
Yeah, I get that feeling sometimes too. It hit me hard
yeah.
last year because I was doing auditions and I was practicing singing because that was one of my assignments. And yeah, um, thankfully I recovered before I performed, so that was great. But in the midst, it was so stressful.
Oh yeah.
But actually, speaking of Robert Axelrod, he actually was in Digimon. He played
Yeah.
Upamon and Armadillomon. And it's like totally
Mm-hmm.
total no, not Upamon, just Armadillomon. Upamon's someone else. That's Dave Mello. But Upamon, not Armadillomon. Oh, he just sounds.
Unreal one.
It's like a whole like night and day between that and Zed. It's like oh yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, like the ranges some people have in terms of their acting. Like I would not have guessed. Like if I didn't, I knew he was Lord Zed. I did not know he was Armadillomon until I'm today
Yeah.
years old figuring that out.
Hell yeah.
And wow, just like there's some actors that are like, it's like you got Johnny Young Bosch, he's got like the voice that you got Goku, and then you have people that can just like do so many different things and it's crazy to me to think how people are able to bounce back and forth between that. And that's one of the cool things about being a voice actor is because you can do just about anything. With the right practice, you can fit whatever role that's out there.
Hell yeah. And just to end things up with voiceover, this is my final question to you, Alistair. The
Mm.
most important question, I would say. Do you have any a piece or pieces of advice that you would give to voice actors already in the industry or like aspiring voice actors out there?
Oh, absolutely. And it's something I've been thinking about for a while now. I think it's important. The most important thing that you can do starting out is to invest in your education first. You don't need a mic, you don't need a special space. This space is like $150. You don't need anything expensive. You just need to, because I've seen so many people jump into voice acting not really having acting experience. They just have some might have a good impression, or someone told them you could get into voice acting, and that's fine. If you want to get into voice acting, it's fine. I'm lucky enough that I had that kind of theater background, so I was able to like not so much be ahead of the curve but have an idea of what I'm doing in terms of like sending in auditions and the performance and things like that. But some people don't have that just yet. Some people, they can be shy. They might not know what to do when it comes to auditioning or finding your own inner voice, or just like how to be in touch with your emotions, because acting can be so self-reflective. It causes you to
Yeah.
like you got to tap into some
Yeah.
stuff. And without getting into too many details, that was my biggest barrier to becoming a better actor, was really being in touch with some of the more negative feelings that you kind of
Yeah.
don't want to be in touch with. But acting can help you do that in a safe way,
Yeah.
and you feel all right doing it. And even if you go too far, you know that you're in an environment where someone is able to pull you out of there, like a director
Exactly.
or someone that's with you, like it's like the sound engineer. like people will be able to pull you out, and to know that you're in that kind of environment where everyone is trying to help you be the best you, the best voice actor that you can be, you want to make sure you're doing the same for yourself. So
Absolutely.
that's why I think acting is so vitally important before any kind of fancy tech or subscriptions. Do that first.
Hell
Get
yeah.
educated. Find out how you work, how you can like shape your offering as a voice actor, and then go crazy with all the equipment.
Hell yeah. You gotta be a good actor to be a good voice actor, I would
Yes,
say.
absolutely.
And yeah, what you were saying before about just like being in a just being you're you're allowed to be vulnerable in a safe space with all these people wanting the best from
Mhm.
you. So don't like ever feel shy to like let that come out because
Yes,
if they like
exactly.
because if it is what it is, it's real, it's in the moment and it's amazing. And if it's too much, they can pull you back and we can go again. It's simple as that.
Exactly. And that's why you just want to figure out what that is for yourself, what those emotions are for you that you can tap into. You don't want to act like somebody else.
Exactly.
You want to show how you act.
Exactly.
And yeah, once you're able to find that, then the rest is easy.
Sweet. And with that, this interview comes to a conclusion. Thank you so much, Alistair, for coming. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Oh my god, thanks for having me. This was
No,
awesome.
no worries, man. So would you like to plug any social media and stuff? I can just put in the description later on.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, you guys, anyone listening, please, you can follow me at Alister Cado. I'm on uh what are they now? I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok. It's all at Alister Cado, all one word, nothing, no numbers or anything. And yeah, you can find my website there. You can find my demo reel. You can find me geeking out about Jojo or Chainsaw Man or something like that. I got it all.
Hell yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Alistair, so much once again. And I'll see you for the next interview. Bye
All
bye.
right. Thank you guys.